What up, what up? It's your boy DJ Tariq, and I'm here in the Boardroom studios with my boy March.
314.
That's right. So, continuing from our last discussion, we were talking about artists and performing in the booth and getting a good performance. And the next thing I think is important is originality. A lot of artists seem to piggyback off of other artists, copy other artists, and I think from the beginning of time, that's how a lot of artists or a lot of rappers, singers also learn how to do what they do. But then when it's time for you to have your own career, I think that you need to create your own lane.
Right. This could go a few different ways, actually, when you think about it. A lot of rappers now want to sing because other rappers are kind of melodic. They want to pick the same sounding music. The names, you know, there's a lot of littles and, you know.
I think we got a new baby, but
Yeah. So it's like, I think the following the trend era should just die. It's more, and I feel like it has more to do with thinking that they're gonna be more successful or make more money if I do this sound.
it's easy. Makes life easy.
But honestly, to me, the more successful artists are the ones that you can relate to, like you have a personal connection with. I feel like they go a long way. Now, granted, some people are in this business just to make money and something quick, and if this sound is popping, what's wrong with me doing it? I'll do it, I'll get some bread, and boom. And I don't think a lot of them are thinking of the longevity in it.
So a lot of people are not even really artists.
Right.
Yeah. So
they're following trend. You know, then there's a trendsetter, and then there's a bunch of people coming in after him. I mean, T-Pain was criticized highly for using auto-tune, right?
And now it's the standard.
Now it's standard, and I don't really follow charts and how much records are being sold, but I can tell you I don't hear T-Pain. You feel me? The originator, and it's like the hip-hop fans, I would say, are the most unloyal fans in the music industry. So you have T-Pain, who pretty much made auto-tune famous. He didn't create it, but he made it famous. And he put out a record today, and it's like, it might get a quick burn, but then it fizzles out. You know, and then they go back to everybody else that have the same name with the same cadence and doing everything, and that's what it is. So these kids coming up now in the game, they're following that. When do we think auto-tune will end? If it will end.
As in all things, when there's a dramatic change, somebody's going to come out and it's going to be so explosive, and then everybody will copy that.
You're
and
right.
Auto-tune will fizzle out. And I'm just surprised it lasted this long. We thought Jay-Z put it to bed, but then it was like it just...
Yeah, it actually
made it more popular.
After that.
So we said the young artists, some of them are not even artists. So how do you feel about that? The fact that some people just want to get into business, make money, and they don't even care about the art form.
That's a good question. Because I love, so we're talking hip hop, right? I'm not talking overall music. I'm talking hip hop right now, right? I love hip hop, right? And I personally feel like some of these artists that come into the game and don't care about the form kind of ruin it. I feel like subject matters are getting worse. It's a lot of it's a lot of carelessness going on subject wise in
100%.
hip hop that me personally I could care less about. You know what I'm saying? I don't care to hear certain things on records no more. And I think that has to do with you know, just
Maturity.
you know, because when NWA came out, I loved that shit. You know what I'm saying? There's artists today that might be talking that same shit that NWA is talking, but for some reason, the way that they're doing it, the manner of which they're doing it, feels different.
Well, I believe NWA was kind of almost, I don't want to say antithesis, but I guess kind of like an opposite of Public Enemy.
Right.
And Public Enemy had a purpose and a cause, and NWA had a purpose and a cause. They had a message, and they said what they said a lot of times for a reason. And a lot of these kids, I don't know, I don't want to say they don't have a reason, but it's just many of them say it just because they know it's the popular thing to say.
Right.
They have a list of words, and they have to include all of these words in their rhymes.
And sometimes it boils down to it's so bad because, again, this goes back to originality. When you say that they say it because it's the popular thing to say, sometimes that goes into even talking about depression in music, right? And I'm not saying that you guys aren't depressed, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, do you think that there are artists that are capitalizing on depression just because it's a thing to talk about?
Wow.
Because they know that, you know, you listen to, you know, a Juice WRLD, you know, rest in peace, who a lot of his music, you can tell he was depressed, right? And then you'll have artists that now that he's not here that think that, oh, that's a open lane for me, and they would want to capitalize on that and talk about it. And
Key word, capitalism. We're in a capitalist society.
Yeah.
So is it right or wrong?
I mean, listen, that ain't for me to say. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's why I listen to specific artists, certain artists. I don't listen to everything that comes out. You know, I go back and forth with Recco about music that come out, and sometimes I say to him, I never heard that record. You know, there's certain artists that I might have heard 1 or 2 songs from them. Sometimes I'll go to 3. And if the subject matter has not changed, then I'm like, all right, I'm good.
With everything that we say, and we know there's an oversaturation of music, do you think we should go back to the time when we had gatekeepers?
No, you don't want to really. Again, a lot of these people are in it for money.
Do you agree we have an oversaturation of music?
I think we have an oversaturation of the same type of music. Music is, to me, it's never oversaturated. And to be honest with you, there's probably not another subject to talk about because it's all been spoken already, right? But some people are sticking to one topic, maybe 3. 3 topics dominate hip hop. Drugs, sex, violence dominates hip hop. So, and then female rappers, right? You get female rappers who all, to me, are speaking the same thing.
Yeah, because they want to compete with the men.
But they're not talking about what the men are talking about. They're actually, like I say, certain female rappers, right, I don't listen to because they don't make music for me, right? I can't listen to, I don't listen to female rappers who talk about just, let's get this nigga for his money all the time. You know what I mean? To me, the subject matter in female hip hop should change. I'm not saying don't talk about what you're talking about. I'm just saying if you have an album full of 10 songs, I don't need to hear 10 songs saying the same thing.
Well, that's a lack
And
of creativity.
That's a lack of creativity, but it could also be because Meg Thee Stallion is popping, let me rap about what Meg's rapping about. Because the city girls are popping, let me rap about what the city girls are rapping about. And then you'd have Rhapsody, who raps about everything in the world, but where's her burn? You know what I mean?
You know, a lot of artists that are put into, she's kind of put into the quote unquote conscious rap, a lot of them get ignored, I guess, because people don't want to be preached to. And it may seem preachy. I don't know. I'm not really up on her music as much as that, so I'm not saying she's preachy, but it's just that people go to the club and they want to have brainless fun. And someone famously said a long time ago, don't bring your calculator to the club.
Right, I get that. But do you have to have brainless fun for an album's worth of material? That's my only thing. I don't care that you want to have brainless fun. But if you're going to present me an album, I want to be able to hear different things. I don't want to feel the same on every single song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So they go into the studio and it's the same vibe.
It's the same
And the
vibe.
producers are making the same beats. So it's pretty much one drum pattern with different sounds on top. And of course, you're gonna write the same thing, you're gonna rap the same way. So what are we doing as far as flows in the music business right now? Are all the flows exactly the same, or are they changing up?
Pretty much the same. If you're trying to be melodic, then people are following the melodic pattern. Even like honestly, I can't even really talk about the flows, because if you're a hip hop boom bap head, you're gonna have the boom bap flow.
Yeah.
If you're a melodic artist, you're gonna have the melodic. You know, that's not an issue for me. Subject matter is more what I'm concerned with.
Okay.
Subject matter and style,
Yeah.
because you know.
But the reason why I bring up the patterns is because, like we said, we're talking about creativity and we're talking about changing it up. And when you got the same beat, it's hard to even think of a different pattern.
That's not true. I'm gonna tell you why. When you think of reggae, who instead of a new, so in hip hop, it's more about a new artist, a new like a new artist coming out. And reggae is more about a new rhythm. That comes out, right? So that one beat comes out, it's the same beat. You got 10 artists doing their version to that beat. And
yeah, but you're talking about 10 different artists coming from 10 different perspectives rather than one artist on an album with the same beat. It's hard for him as one artist to come up with different styles and flows.
well, then you probably got to work on your craft. If that's the case, flows not so much, man. Like,
So when we were
to
coming
be
up,
honest with you, the baby raps the same on every record.
yeah, when we were coming up, that's what we wanted to hear. We wanted to hear your different styles. We wanted to hear your different flows. We wanted to hear your creativity. We wanted to hear how you was gonna come.
But let me
through
ask
that
you this,
rhyme.
and I love our era that we came up with, right? But let's be honest. How many flows did Rakim have?
Well,
Rakim rapped the same
You
on
know what
every
it-
record.
probably so, but we knew lyrically he's gonna say something to make us think, and we were gonna
Subject matter.
So subject
that
matter.
goes back to what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's
I mean-
why I say the flow don't really matter to me. I want to hear subject matter. I want to be able to relate to what you're saying.
Well, some people are impressed by different flows.
Some people are. I am.
Yeah.
I am. When I hear a new flow, I like it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many more flows we're gonna get. I mean, if I'm waiting to hear a new flow, there's maybe 2 artists that I think I could get that from, and I would say that's Busta, because Busta is very capable of just coming up with a different. He debuted something on YouTube a couple weeks back for his upcoming album, and I was like, damn. I never really comment on celebrities' joint. I commented like, yo, drop that shit. I ain't nobody. He ain't gonna listen to me, but I know that joint was fire.
KRS-One came up with something too that I thought was pretty hot, surprising.
And I think Kendrick Lamar's another one that could come up with different flows. When you're talking about flow. Oh, and Luda. Whatever he's doing, if Luda decided to come back and do an album, you're gonna get a different flow.
The flow.
Yeah.
That time when Method Man and them was playing the prank.
Come on, man. He killed that whack ass beat.
Yeah. And see, that's creativity, but I guess I don't know if
that's what I'm talking about. That's a whole artist right there that can just say, okay, figure it out in his head. He's listening to it. He's probably in his head like, damn, this shit is kind of, but damn, it's Red and Meth. I got to do this for them. And then went in the booth, and they couldn't even believe that he was catching the beat. So that's originality.
So does it matter?
What, the flow?
No. Does originality matter?
Originality does matter. Because if he wasn't original.
No, I mean, in the scheme of today, a lot of artists are coming out. They're not very original. A lot of artists sound the same. The tracks sound the same. People are making money.
You're right. But on the other end of it, you have producers who may be really good producers that might be working with an artist that's not original. And then he might be telling his artist, I want a beat like this, right? And meanwhile, he's turning down all this other fire that's being presented to him. It puts the producer in a box. You know what I'm saying? So, I would say that producers and artists need to know how to work with each other and be original with each other. Don't let one dominate. You understand what I'm saying? Collaborate.
Yeah.
So, because when you collaborate, you're gonna get some good material. But
something that you wouldn't have come up with on your own.
If the artist is coming to the producer and saying, "Hey, I want a beat like this," you're kind of limiting this producer's creativity, and vice versa. If the producer comes to the artist and be like, "This is what I got for you. You got to use this beat," and it's like, "All right, but what if I don't like that beat?"
Or rap this way.
Yeah. What if I'm not? What if I don't rap on a double time?
Yeah. All right, so like, comment, subscribe. I want to hear your opinions. DJ Tariq, March 314, Boardroom Studios. Let me know what you think. Peace.
Peace.